That's a box of Wheaties from 1987 with the Wheaties still in them. Big Ten basketball autograph from Harmon Killebrew. So on and so forth. Anyway, the first thing I would like to discuss is, well, there's a few things. I should probably start with the Adam Thielen status. From what I understand, he re-injured his hamstring. I'm sure he will not return. That's something that Kirby and I talked about before the show, the fear of maybe rushing Thielen back too soon from that hammy. And as we saw with Dalvin Cook last year, those things can not only flare up and limit you on a short-term basis, but they can lag. So I'm really hoping that isn't the case here. I mean, obviously that would be crushing for them to lose Thielen for any amount of time, but especially over the long second half of the season. So, man, oof. That could end up being the storyline of this game, or the leading story anyway. In his stead, though, I do want to give a shout-out to Laquan Treadwell. I've been really rough on Treadwell, really, since before he joined the team. For those of you that aren't aware, we do a live chat for the game, which we're doing right now. We also do it for major events like the draft. And for that draft, the first thing that I said in that chat was anyone but Treadwell. I wrote a bunch of articles about it, and my theory's been stated a million times. So if you want to really just know how I felt about Treadwell, just go to mockdraftables.com, type his name in, and look at his scores there, and you'll kind of get a general idea. But he, came through with a couple catches. He got hit on that first catch pretty hard, and he held on to the ball, which has really been his main issue when he's been called on, is that he takes his eye off the ball and perhaps is looking ahead to avoid a hit or to pick up yards after the catch, or he's just trying too hard and he drops the ball. So big ups to him. Those were some clutch catches. And BC Johnson, too, love seeing him get his second touchdown. He's a really hard worker. He does everything right. He's just really poised for his age, and he's stepping in big time for the second week in a row. Well, really, second and a half. The touchdown, the secondary isn't playing great. I was just lauding Harrison Smith and how great that pass breakup was. I think it was the play before. He was slow getting over there. Hill is extremely fast. I mean, if he was able to not so much get around Trey Waynes, but maintain the distance with Trey Waynes' 4.2 speed, the guy is fast. He looks really healthy. He's been banged up this year. But yeah, that was just a breakdown on multiple levels. I'm not happy with that at all. I mean, I sound like a disappointed father. But yeah, God, you can't be mad at 10 points in the first half, Matt Moore or otherwise. But yeah, I don't want to harp on him too much. Xavier Rhodes, too. He's had some catches on him, but I think they're doing an admirable job, especially with Travis Kelce being such a threat. I also think a shout-out is deserved to Cousins and company for the bounce-back drive they had after that touchdown. They showed a lot of guts there, I thought, and that's something that Cousins doesn't get a whole lot of credit for. But it's not the clutchest drive in even really recent Vikings history. But that's the sort of thing that with the running game not working, especially at that point, and Thielen being out, I just thought it was gutsy for Cousins to bounce back that way. That having been said, he's having a bad first half, especially, by his standards in recent games, but in general, he's under 50% for his completion, so that's not good. So, he was just winging it for whatever reason with a lot of those shots in the end zone. But they had timeouts. They should have mixed in some runs there, or perhaps moved the pocket a little bit. Those were all, from my memory, stationary throws, no bootlegs, no rollouts, nothing like that. That's where they found success. I think they need to get back to that. That having been said, I do applaud Zimmer as well for going for it on fourth down there. That was a really gutsy call. He just came off of a similar call that he said was the dumbest decision that he's made as a head coach this season, or maybe ever, I think. I can't remember which, but either way, I thought it was gutsy that they did that and that it worked. Maybe I'd be saying something different had it not. But I'm happy with the tie, I guess, considering Dalvin Cook is not getting the blocking. I guess I don't want to put it all on him or on him really at all. But yeah, he's 3.6 yards per carry is way under his average. Which is surprising considering the fact that the Chiefs were 30th in the NFL for yards allowed to opposing running backs up until this point. Elfline's not having a great day. That's a continuing story. But on the other side of the ball too, I mean, I don't want to seem like the guy that gets mad for effect. So, but yeah. You're essentially starting over 0-0 in the second half. You're going against a team with a backup quarterback that's missing 40% of its offensive line. They have a porous defense. They should be playing better. They should be executing more. And it is a huge shock to lose Thielen yet again. But there's a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm hoping that Zimmer will make some adjustments. Stefanski will make some adjustments. Kubiak will make some adjustments, and they'll come out just playing a little bit better. As I've said, they do really need to win this game to keep pace with the Packers in general, but in regards to the tiebreaker, since the Packers just beat the Chiefs last weekend. So hopefully that's what we'll see. I'm not, I was really waiting all week, or at least last couple weeks, for the other shoe to drop, and I kind of feared that happening this week with all the time that they've had off. In the way that the defense has played the last couple weeks. I know that they only gave up 9 points last week. I know that they didn't allow a touchdown, but I've said this a lot now. But I have a feeling that if Keenum hadn't gone into the concussion protocol, that could have been a completely different game. They were giving up a ton of yardage. It was almost as if every Skins receiver was Sammy Watkins, who was suddenly playing like the high pick that people thought, or Buffalo thought he was going to be when they drafted him. But it's 10 points. It is in a really inhospitable environment. I don't want to get too down. I think Cousins will turn things around. I think play calling should have a big adjustment at halftime, and that it'll have a big effect. I think Cook is pent up and he's going to bust a big one. And I think the defense will, if the Vikings can even go up by 7 points, I think the defense is going to start really getting to work, exploiting the offensive line issues, and we'll see what happens. But we will be back after the game, and by we I mean myself and Kirby O'Connor. If you haven't, stop by your local liquor store and pick up some Grey Duck vodka. This bottle is autographed by Chad Greenway, who owns the company. And who's apparently torturing cats in the background of this video. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back after the game. I also want to quickly announce that we here at Purple Territory Media, and by we I mean myself, Joe Oberly, and Kirby O'Connor, will be hosting the first, and as of the recording of this, or streaming of this video only, live game commentary on a new sports app called Hot Mic, as in M-I-C. Hot Mic. It's on iPhones now. They're rolling out their Android version soon. Basically, if you want to hear more passionate, local, perhaps entertaining commentary during a game, unfiltered commentary, you go to Hot Mic. It's free. Download the app. You can go through each team in pretty much every major sport in North America, find multiple crews, or in this case, since we're